Saturday, September the 5th, Labor Day weekend, and I decided to return to this sign, which I believe is the closest marker to the last railroad spike, where the final spike was driven into a plain railroad tie on January the 30th, 1905, which marked the completion of the San Pedro, Los Angeles, and Salt Lake Railroad. As I've said before, the state marker is about 1.5 miles down the road, and it was probably placed there for convenience. And from all of the accounts that I have documented, this is the place. The problem is, if you look at this railroad bed, you can see that it's been replaced. These rocks look all new. The railroad ties don't look like they're from 1905. So that I doubt if we look back and forth, we will see any spike suggestive of the last spike. That was probably removed by someone working to replace the ties and these rails, and he probably just threw it away because it had no, it wasn't a gold spike like the one at Promontory Summit. And as you walk down the railroad tracks, you don't see any evidence of any old spikes. These are sort of like new spikes that were placed in the rail. But at any rate, somewhere along here, I don't know, maybe within plus or minus 10 yards of this sign, they all met, had a ceremony, and the first car to cross the union of the tracks was one of the track layers. It wasn't a fancy coach owned by one of the owners of the railroad. So wouldn't it be nice to find the old spike, which would be a documentation of history? And then I could turn it into the local museum or the university library at UNLV and become famous. What's this here? I see. There's something here. What is this? A railroad spike. And it's designated the last spike. And engraved in it are the people who were involved. E.G. Tilton, the chief engineer, William A. Clark, E.H. Harriman. This must be it. I found it. This is the last spike, and on the head of it, it says San Pedro, Los Angeles, and Salt Lake. This is amazing. I figured if I'd come out enough times, I'd find this spike. And rather than leave it out here, I'll go ahead and talk to the people at the local museum or at UNLV to see if they are interested in actually having this piece of history. This is amazing. My goodness. The last spike.